Hi, it's Debbie Williams here. I'm an NLP hypnotherapist and trainer. Also, I have qualifications in nutrition. And today I'm going to talk about how you can plan so that you can let go of any food addictions and also lose some weight. And you can do it cheaply. And I want to show that when you buy right, then you can make food go a long way. And for example, I've just been to my local supermarket today. The peppers were buy two for a cheaper price than just one. You can see the broccoli there has reduced. The beans are two for $2.50. And also, which is interesting that we can get nowadays, we can get pea shoots and baby leaves, and this one's actually washed in spring water, which is much better because a lot of times lettuce and stuff like that is been washed in all sorts of chemicals to keep it fresh. So we've got those, and we've got things like lentil and pea shoots, which are great because when you start to sprout nuts and seeds and grains, then the nutritional value goes up tremendously, and we begin to put back into our system micronutrients that we may well have been missing in our diet, because our diet has changed over the last 100 years from predominantly a plant-based diet to a predominantly meat-based diet. The bread a couple of hundred years ago was all made from millet. Now everything is sort of wheat-based. And there's scientists who are saying that in millet there was a component that they've named on the B vitamin scale as B vitamin 17, and it seems to have an anti-cancer effect. And this adds up because less than 200 years ago the cancer rate was one or two in 100. Now it's 1 in 3. So there's a hell of a lot of things change, and there's a hell of a lot of information out there that can help us to prevent cancer and to prevent other diseases. Because again, the first case of heart disease wasn't reported until 1912 in the UK, and part of that is due to the change of our diet. So all of this food that I've got here, for example, these asparagus, onions and peas, if you bung those all together in a pan and boil them, put a bit of sea salt in afterwards or mineral salt, then you get what I've got here, which is a lovely thick pea and asparagus soup. And if you sprinkle a bit of black pepper on it, it's absolutely gorgeous. And it's a very cheap thing to do. And once you've done a batch, you can freeze stuff. So you've got variety. And I've just took a couple of things out the freezer. The one behind is carrots and red pepper soup with hot chilli in. And I've used potato and swede, I think I had, to thicken it up. And I've made them without that, and I've added tomatoes in. Basically anything that's in the fridge that I want to use up. If you put it in a soup and then you puree it and have some for that day and then freeze some for later, then you've got sort of backup food. Carrots are always a cheap staple to add to things. If you want to lose weight, then the way to do it is to view food as fuel, and that you're putting good nutrition in, and you're having perhaps one treat a day. And for me, my one treat would be something like this aloo gobi saag, which is a side dish. And again, I bought it when it's reduced because I can freeze it. That's only about 300 calories in there, but it tastes so delicious. It feels like I'm having something naughty, but it helps me if I've overindulged over the weekend and I want to cut back on certain foods. Again, sort of, when I went to Waitrose the other day, the chap there knows me and he says, oh, because I bought one of the leeks at 69 pence. And he said, well, they're an offer on 3 for 2. If you buy the 3, you'll actually get them for nothing. And in fact, I got them for a -2 pence figure. I'm not quite sure how that worked out. But my mum used to do things like this. She used to go into the supermarket and work out how the deals worked. And when they were 3 for 2 and then they were reduced, something happened that you actually did get them for nothing. And it was great to see that. It reminded me of some of the good things that my mum used to do and that I've learnt from. And because I've got a load of leeks there, I'm going to make them into a leek and potato soup, which I'll just boil up some leeks, boil up some potatoes, excuse me, and blend them together. Maybe stick a few carrots in, maybe a few peas, 2 or 3 vegetables, and then blend them together. And there I've got another soup that I'll have loads of it, and I can eat some now and freeze some for later. Oh, also while I'm on the subject, I'll just get something out of the cupboard that Tastes absolutely delicious. These thins with seeds, multi-seed flatbreads, again, they happen to be on offer for £2 for £3. When you make soup and you make it really, really thick, you can actually turn it into a dip. And it's great sort of to have either warm on a winter's day and put those in. And the other thing that you can do with soup is that when you warm it up, if you want to add extra nutrition, then if you get your pea and beans and sprouted stuff and you blend them in after you've warmed the soup, then you don't do anything to destroy the enzymes that are in there. And we want to keep the enzymes as they are, because when you boil food, it kills the enzymes, it kills sort of various amounts of vitamins. But it's a great way then to add those. And if you add those and you add some garlic into, say, my potato and leek soup before I thinned it down, and with those in, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's a little bit like a hummusy type thing, but you haven't added the oil in. And then when you've got the seeds and stuff, what you'll find eating this way, that you will feed your cells and cravings will naturally drop. And it gives you the freedom then to have sort of one treat a day. Yesterday, I happened to be in Poundland and I bought these like Cadbury's cake things. And how you're able to eat a bit of rubbish and stay slim is that you have... it's your one treat a day and you treat it as a meal, which I did, and didn't eat anything for a few hours afterwards. And at later on, when I was hungry, I had some of these thins with a little bowl of soup that I'd done thick, like this dip. And I know that I'd made it myself, and so that it was quite low in calorie, but full of nutrition. So it's nutrient dense yet calorie poor. Okay, great talking to you today. Bye now.